Hey everybody, it's your old pal Robert from thrillride.com. How you doing? So on this kind of overcast morning here in Southern California, I'm in a neighborhood called Baldwin Park. And not a place I've been to very often. I'm sure I've driven through it a few times. But the thing that has brought me out here is a little bit of a mecca if you're into fast food burgers. You know, I eat a lot of fast food. I'm trying to cut back as I get older, getting into a more healthy diet. But the occasional Taco Bell, Popeye's fried chicken, the Jack in the Box smash burgers are pretty rad. But if I'm going to eat a fast food burger and I have a choice in front of me, it's going to be In-N-Out. In-N-Out burgers, man, just love them to death. And yeah, I've tried Five Guys. They're pretty good. But when it comes to that burger war, I'm team In-N-Out 100%. And what they have here in Baldwin Park is a replica of the original In-N-Out location, which is pretty cool. So it's open Thursdays through Sundays from 11 to 2, and it's just a little before 11 on a Saturday morning here. So looking forward to getting inside. And unfortunately, they don't serve In-N-Out here, but just down the street, there is another In-N-Out restaurant and the company store. So hopefully gonna get in there to check that out too. So let's take a look around. I'll tell you, there's something about the neon and the analog clock perched above this old roadside sign. It just reminds me of a bygone era when, you know, we needed clocks around. So there it is, all the relevant details. And it's a good thing there is an In-N-Out burger, an actual restaurant just down the block, because I have a feeling by the time I'm done soaking up all this historical goodness, I'm going to be pretty hungry for an actual burger. It is charming to see this rather modest establishment, or replica thereof, that turned into one of the most successful fast food chains of the last half century. Yeah, talk about a more innocent time. That is really lovely. Right down to the cigarette dispenser. Yeah, definitely a product of a different era. So this reproduction is located right at the intersection of Garvey Street and Francisquito Avenue, which is a pretty great name. It's like a San Francisco mosquito breed, Francisquito. All right, the gates have opened, so a little stroll inside. Oh yeah. Boy, it's really well maintained. Looks like it opened just yesterday. Looks like there's somebody actually in the, I don't want to call it a restaurant, the food preparation area proper. So doing the full drive-through experience here. Well, that's great. He's even wearing the official In-N-Out gear. Pick up your food and boom, you're out of there. In-N-Out burgers, no delay. Well, now the sun's kind of burned off some of the clouds. It warmed up a little bit, so I took off my sweatshirt, and as you can see, I'm wearing a Funsville Thrill Rag shirt, one of the park logo shirts, available at thrillrags.com. And of course, every t-shirt sale helps support the channel. So thanks to all of you who have purchased shirts, and those of you who will. Much appreciated. Yeah, other people are now entering the property. Yeah, it is it's a popular spot. There's a lot of love for In-N-Out Burger here in Southern California. And to have this little piece of replicated history is pretty special. Yeah, it's taken me too long to get down here. I'm only about 40 minutes away, so very happy to be seeing this with my own two eyes. Look at that. It's not a one-way speaker, it's a two-way speaker. We're living in the future.
Would you like fries with that?
Well, that sure is convenient that I can order without actually leaving my car. I mean, you know, when you think how the fast food industry has evolved over the last, what, 60, 70, 80 years, it's pretty amazing that it wasn't that long ago when this kind of fast food experience was a novelty. Yeah, pretty crazy. Well, times change, and all things inevitably get more expensive as we move forward. But boy, I sure do wish we had history days at In-N-Out when they go back to their original pricing. Maybe once or twice a year. They lose their shirts, but man, 30 cents for a cheeseburger, 15 for fries, and 10 cents for a cold drink. That's hard to beat. Of course, I'm old enough to have lived through the times when cigarette smoking was pretty commonplace. And it's actually getting a little odd to see people smoking in public, but I do love this kind of vintage machine. Look at that, cigarettes. Minors forbidden, something, something, blah, blah, blah. And here are the brands they had. Camel, Lucky Strike, Chesterfield. Yeah, it's a pretty old school. Lucky Strike, it's toasted. Oh my goodness, 1 cent? Yeah, prices were definitely lower back in the day. And when it comes to those cold drinks, they've got a great selection of historical brands here. High-res root beer, knee-high, delicious Delaware Punch. I don't think I've ever had that. And dig the old Pepsi Cola logo. Yeah. And of course, right next to it, the classic, elegant silhouette of the bespoke Coca-Cola. So there it is, kind of tucked in the back, a photo of the actual original structure. And it says here, In-N-Out Burger opened on October 22nd, 1948 at 4:15 p.m. That's specific. Right here in Baldwin Park, California. The store was originally on Francisquito and Garvey, where the current freeway overpass is located. Okay, so just a maybe stone's throw from the original location here. And on this first day in 1948, in a 10 by 10 building just like this, Harry and Esther sold 57 burgers. They welcomed customers and took orders through a two-way speaker. We built this replica so visitors can take a step back in time and get a glimpse of how it all began. And we are grateful for that. Yeah. Boy, they really do have a lot of authentic kind of props here. Here is an easy spin dryer dishwashing device. Wow. Yeah, that is very old school. Neat. All right, let's take a step in here. Oh, look at that. So you got the fryer here and a sink, and looks like a juicer maybe.
For refrigerator?
Look at that. And oh wow, here's a whole bunch more historical photos, and I'm guessing that is Harry and Esther back there. Yeah, look at that. Oh, so, and the soda bottles in the window are the original 8 drinks.
And only 2 of them we still serve today.
Ah, wow, they're very cool. Which are the 2 you still serve today?
Take a guess.
Coca-Cola and Pepsi.
You're close. One of them you got right.
Oh, Coke and high-res root beer?
Still one of them correct.
Okay, I got the Coke, so 7-Up.
Correct.
Bingo, there we go. Nice. Oh, look at that. Oh, right. As In-N-Out started to become more popular, a friend of Harry's suggested that he come up with a symbol for In-N-Out Burger. Harry's favorite movie was It's a Mad, 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 Mad World.
The remake was Rat Race in 2004.
Right, I love Rat Race. Very unsung movie. That needs more love.
Oh yeah.
It's like, it's Mad World for a new generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so great, so great. But yeah, so the movie was filmed in 1963 and featured the crossed palms, and they replicated that at the location. And they conveniently give you prop stuffed or hamburger plushies for the posing. That's fantastic. Oh yeah. And your spices available here.
Oh yeah.
Right above. And it's a little tight quarters in here, but this is the refrigerator.
You push it in.
Oh, push it in. Ah, there we go. Oh, look at that. Nice. That is not a big freezer.
I don't think we're selling the volume we do today, but
yeah, indeed. Well, it said outside 57 burgers sold the first day, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's awesome. And then of course, love this beautiful old Coca-Cola cooler. Yeah. Oh, there's a shot for you, Daryl. Right? Yeah, these are few and far between these days. Yeah, so beautiful. Oh yeah, look at that. There's your classic coffee maker there too. Always got to have coffee on tap. Beautiful. So the very kind host here explained that this reproduction of the location is actually a tiny bit bigger, and that in the original store, if you opened the refrigerator door, you could not walk between that and the cooker, or rather the grill. It was just that tight. So there are the cross palms that are the homage to those seen in It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. And if you haven't seen that film, came out I think in the 60s. It is a comedy classic, and the cast is like comedy all-stars from that era. It was just huge, a blockbuster, and one of the funniest movies ever made. And then as we were discussing inside, they made kind of an updated version of it called Rat Race in the early 2000s, which may not hit the peaks of comedy that Mad World does, but it's pretty fun. And if you like the original, it's worth checking out the kind of, not remake, but semi-homage. Quite a few years ago, I read the book Fast Food Nation, which is a terrific, terrific book. Really interesting look at the history and the technology and the socio-cultural implications of the fast food industry. And I gotta say, In-N-Out comes off very well in that book. They are one of the few fast food purveyors that use fresh potatoes, keep their meat pretty extra ingredient free. They treat their employees really well, and their food just tastes great. So yeah, I'm always gonna love me some In-N-Out. And apparently they made a movie, some sort of a faux documentary kind of thing too. I haven't seen that yet, but yeah, if you have any interest in the history of fast food, it's worth checking out. Yeah, it really tickles me to death that the company went to the trouble and the effort to create this nice little shout out to their humble roots. If I had one complaint about In-N-Out Burger, it's that it's just too dang popular. 9 times out of 10, when you're ready for a meal and you find a local In-N-Out Burger, the drive-through line is it's pretty long. So yeah, the food is fast, but the wait to get up to order may not be quite so fast. Yeah, this is pretty amazing, but it is making me hungry. So I think it's time to head down the road a little bit. So it would be almost cruel to have that lovely little stand there and not be able to purchase an actual In-N-Out Burger without getting too far, because yeah, again, the desire is strong after seeing that lovely place. But before I head in there to grab some chow, right over here is the company store and what looks like In-N-Out University, which is, I guess, where employees come for training and indoctrination into the In-N-Out way. Very cool. I wonder if someday there's a way to get in and check out the university. But in the meantime, right out in front of it is the company store. And I'm sure there's a lot of very cool In-N-Out branded merch available inside. So there was no videography allowed in the store, but they did allow me to take pictures. So just grabbed a few snaps of some of the really fun items on display. Obviously a lot of t-shirts, socks were among some of my favorite options in there. A lot of hats, baseball hats, and a couple of really spectacular ugly Christmas sweaters, including one that has a dimensional plushy burger attached to it, which I very much appreciated. A fair number of Bite Me shirts, you can't go wrong with those, and of course the menu shirt That's a very popular item, I'm sure. It certainly made me tempted. And then a whole wall of the various commemorative shirts from states around the country, I think. Yeah, a lot of good stuff in there. If you want to spend some money, you won't have any problem if you have any love for this brand. A lot of good stuff in here. Well, I got my BFA in graphic communications from Washington University many years ago, but I'm kind of sorry I don't have a diploma from In-N-Out University also hanging on my wall. That'd be pretty righteous. Well, you know, of course, the drive-thrus are not always packed. It's just a little teeny bit early for lunch, and there's actually plenty of empty lane here, so it's not always that bad. You know what it is? When I am hungry at the end of the day, dinner, and sometimes as late as 2, 3 in the morning, that's when those lines get really, really backed up. All right, I think that is going to bring this one to a close. So as always, thank you so much for coming along, and I hope you enjoyed a look at some In-N-Out burger history. I know I did, and I'm standing here in front of the company store, and the smells of the restaurant are wafting over here right now, and it's driving me crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go get a burger. But yeah, if you're anywhere near Baldwin Park and it's a Thursday through Sunday 11 to 2, you might want to swing by for a quick stop at this really fun location. And then yeah, come right down the road here and pick up a souvenir at the company store. I don't know if they have any of these elsewhere, but they definitely have one here in Baldwin Park. So, and again, thank you so much for all of you who have subscribed, and if you're here still watching, I would really appreciate it if you liked it to consider giving it a thumbs up and maybe even subscribing if you haven't already. That would be really, really spectacular. And of course, too, thrillrags.com for all your faux historical amusement park t-shirt needs. Well, not all of them, but hopefully some of them. Yeah. And let me just wrap it up by saying Happy New Year to everybody. Let's hope 2025 is a great year for all of us. So take care, and we will catch you in the next year. Here we go. Oh my goodness. A little bit of heaven. Well, I tell you what, I think I've waited too long to have another In-N-Out burger, because boy, I've been missing this flavor. So good. In-N-Out burger rules, man.